At this moment, we're gonna be changing put in the new float. Okay, we put in the new float because the old float been there from God knows when. I need to change it. It keeps running and running and running, and we have to make sure I take care of that as well. I'll be changing the seat. Okay, there it is. I'll be putting a new seat as well. So I just gotta go ahead and do the appropriate requirements to change the filling mechanism right here. This one's supposed to be a quiet fill or whatnot. Okay, looks like it's a beautiful one too. It's corky, hey. Pretty inexpensive, but hey, it does the job. Okay, first we gotta turn off the water supply. Okay, and then you go ahead and then you flush the toilet, and when you flush the toilet, you make sure all the water in the tank is gone, and you make sure everything is out of there, because you're gonna have to remove the nut from underneath here. You have to, and then you're gonna have excessive water that's gonna fall out, some of the residue that's left behind, and that's why this bucket is here, to catch some of that residue. Okay, and what have you. And I have an old piece of rag down here to catch on the bottom, so I can catch some of the stuff that falls all the way to the bottom, and then, hey, dry it out. Okay, so this will be probably a 20-minute job. Okay, as you can see, this right here, normally whenever the float is, when the tank is filling with water, is getting filled up with water, this will come up, and gradually it'll stop the water flow. As this flows in and the water climbs and it climbs, the float goes up, and this is the shut off right here. And then what is going on, the shut off is not shutting off when it's supposed to, so it's worn out, so I have to change it. Okay, that's the reason why we have to drain everything out of here, make sure everything is out, flush the toilet, everything is out, everything is shut down, and then we proceed and start taking off this and then replacing it with the new one. Now, as you can see, as you release the nut from underneath, okay, that's right underneath this, exactly underneath there. You notice the excessive water, the little bit of residue that's left behind is falling in here in the bucket. So all you gotta do is just continue, take that nut out. There it is. Okay, that's out. Then you could pull this up. Like here, the water, see? Pour in the water, the residue, see that? Let it go, pour out gradually. Take your time. Okay. See, all that water is coming out. And boom, it's in my hand. Look at it. It's out. So I disconnect all of these. I got some new hoses that are coming in. Okay. Disconnect. Move all of these. This is out of the way. Okay, and now I'm ready to put in a new. It's that simple. Take everything, put it out of the way. As you can see, this one has everything. It has a new nut to put in. Okay, a new locking nut for underneath for the bottom of this. Has a new seal, and has everything else is in there. Everything is in there. Look at it. And a new flap, which is great, awesome, and a new hose. See the little hose right here? I want to use this hose. Everything is going to be intact, and we're going to do this in less than, what, like I said, 20 minutes, right? As you see, I went ahead and connect this, the new piece that goes in here and slides in. You see it slide in right here. Now it's going to flow, the water's going to flow in there from here. Connect everything good with the new hose, and boom. When I fasten everything else, everything is going to go smooth and quiet. Always remember, when putting the new nut, when you're putting the new nut on here, you got to make sure you don't go too tight, because right here, this is porcelain right here. If you go too tight with this, this will crack. The seat of this will crack, and if it cracks, water is going to be everywhere. Then you're going to have to get yourself a new bowl. So you just got to go nice and snug. Nice and snug. Once you go nice and snug, it's okay. It's gonna be nice and sealed, okay? Then after that is done, then you proceed with the rest of turning on the water and what have you. Okay? But you have to make sure you put this back in. After that is taken care of, this hose has to be put back in nice and snug. Proceeding to put that in right now. Nice and snug. Once you get it nice and snug, it'll be all right. Okay? Now you go ahead and turn on the faucet. You hear it? As you turn on, all the way. Turn it on all the way. Okay? Beautiful. You look in here, starting to flow heavily. And you keep watching it. Then it automatically stops when the flow. So you know it's done correctly. Okay. It's almost there. Okay, it's reaching the float that's in there. So basically, this tank don't have to full all the way like the last one. The float is right in here. Boop, it shuts off. You see that? That's good. Now, I'm using less water as possible. You see that? Less water. Not all the way up like how it used to be. Okay, now it's going good. Going good, doing what it's supposed to do. Beautiful. I'm happy. Less water, and it's very quiet. Corky, pretty inexpensive, you know what I mean? But it does the job. Okay, I just give it one more try, and that's it. And periodically you check and see, make sure nothing is leaking down here. Put my hand here, everything looks like it's good. No leaks, beautiful. Okay, almost there. Right about there. There you go. Go ahead and subscribe, man. I do wonderful jobs, man. Go ahead and subscribe. Do it yourself, man. And might I add, you can adjust this to the amount of length you want it to go to by twisting this, pulling up, and then twisting it back and locking it in to the appropriate length, and that'll determine how much water goes into the tank as well. I should have told you about that earlier, but I just letting you know right now. You could adjust it to the length, because normally when it comes, it'll come down here. And what you do, you pull on it, you twist, pull up, then you twist it again, lock it into the appropriate length that you want, and it'll determine how many water goes in the tank, okay? I just feel I have to let you know that, okay? That's a part of the whole process. If you want less water, you bring it down shorter, okay? If you want more water, you bring it up. Right now, I put it at close to a medium. That's where I want the water to be, okay? Because if you put it any lower, then it'll have to require a second flush, and you really don't have to do that if you put it to the appropriate length, okay? With that in mind, go ahead and subscribe once again, okay? You see this on, it's like a brand new bowl. There you go. I ain't really had to give you any teaching on this because it's self-explanatory, you know, two nuts, 2 bolts, and that's it. So I didn't have to show you how to do that. It's 1, 2, 3 for you. Now, it's like a perfectly new bowl. There you go.